Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. New FAA Reauthorization Bill introduced. FAI marks 5 years since Alexis Reichert set record. And Maggie Taraska returns to her flight instruction. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's September 24th, and this is Airborne Unlimited. In the wee hours of the start of the weekend, a new version of the FAA Reauthorization Bill was published, and the news is mixed. The 1,200-page document was released September 22nd at 0040 Eastern Time to initially mix reviews. Some initial notes show that this 5-year bill does not include the draconian privatization effort that has been aggressively fought by nearly everyone in aviation, and the onerous ATC fees levied on EAA and other venues have been dropped. There is also some additional language in support of the Pilot's Bill of Rights. GA groups are analyzing the 1,200-page doc. Of particular concern, though, are the potential effects on model aviation. While some language seems to create opportunities, much of it is highly problematic. AMA notes that on the whole, it would put even more restrictions on our community in the coming months and years. Given these additional burdensome restrictions, we are asking AMA members to contact their members of Congress to express opposition to the bill. They added that as written, this bill puts our community under the authority of the FAA, which means the agency can at any time impose additional regulations on model aircraft. In addition, the bill specifically imposes a 400 feet altitude limit on model aircraft operating within programming of a community-based organization, which could potentially curtail long-standing AMA competition and events that support local charities and nonprofits. After the break, Cathay Pacific mispaints new 777.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip with integral backup battery. Safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-by@aero-news.net. With so much news coming at the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. When Cathay Pacific's latest 777 was delivered, there was a glaring error in the plane's livery. Pacific was spelled without the F, and somewhat amazingly the plane with the error made it all the way to Hong Kong Airport before it was reportedly noticed. The carrier was quick to acknowledge the error, if not own it. Oops, this special livery won't last long. She's going back to the shop, the company posted, along with photos of the mistake on Twitter. Last week at the Airbus Integration Hall in Bremen, Germany, technicians installed the last radiator on the European Service Module for NASA's Orion spacecraft, marking the module's finished integration. ESA's European Service Module will provide power, water, air, and electricity to NASA's Orion exploration spacecraft that will eventually fly beyond the moon with astronauts. The European Service Module is now complete for Orion's first mission that will do a lunar flyby without astronauts to demonstrate the spacecraft's capabilities. A new campaign from the FAA notes that their hashtag FlySafe campaign is designed to help educate GA pilots about the best practices to calculate and predict aircraft performance and to operate within the established aircraft limitations. A loss of control accident involves an unintended departure of an aircraft from controlled flight. LOC can happen when the aircraft enters a flight regime that is outside its normal flight envelope and quickly develops into a stall or spin. It can introduce an element of surprise for the pilot. An unusual infrared light emission from a nearby neutron star, detected by NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, could indicate new features never before seen. One possibility is that there is a dusty disk surrounding the neutron star. Another is that there is an energetic wind coming off the object and slamming into gas in interstellar space the neutron star is plowing through. The observation could help astronomers better understand the evolution of neutron stars. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. On September 24, 2013, Canadian pilot Alexis Reichert set a new female world record for flight duration in a human-powered rotorcraft by staying airborne for 53 seconds in the Atlas human-powered helicopter. Ratified by FAA, a record-breaking flight fell into the air sports category, experimental and new technologies. It was conducted at the Soccer Centre in Ontario, Canada, less than a year after initial flight testing of the Atlas began, and was measured using video analysis of the flight data. Alexis's achievement came just a few months after her brother Todd Reichert smashed the general record by managing a 64-second flight. His efforts allowed the Atlas project to claim the $250,000 AHS Igor Isikorsky Challenge, requiring a human to hover to an altitude of 3 meters under his or her own power, and to remain aloft for at least 1 minute in 2013. It was partly funded by the $20,000 Prince Alvaro de Orleans Bourbon Grant, awarded to Todd Reichert by FAA in 2012. Purely human-powered, the Atlas helicopter spans more than 148 feet, weighs less than 121 pounds, and has no means of energy storage. After these messages, Maggie Taraska returns to her flight instruction.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight 4-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. The 17-year-old student pilot who caught national attention when she made a successful emergency landing on her first solo flight was back in the cockpit just days after that eventful flight. Maggie Taraska was back at Beverly Regional Airport in Massachusetts just a few days after she landed her two-wheeled airplane on her first solo flight and walked away. The plane, a Piper Warrior, lost its right main landing gear just after Taraska had taken off on her first solo. She circled the airport for about half an hour before her instructor and air traffic controllers talked her through the landing, which she pulled off like a pro. Taraska says she wasn't nervous as she performed her pre-flight checks prior to returning to the air. Her instructor, John Singleton, flew with her on her first flights after the incident. Her parents, both USAF veterans, watched from the ground and praised their daughter's perseverance. After landing, Taraska was all smiles, according to the report. She has about 60 hours in her logbook already, and we hope she'll continue onto a career in aviation. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.